Yo, we're still in a very bearish and negative market sentiment in the crypto industry. And one of the biggest losers over the past couple of weeks has been Juno. And even though Juno Network is one of my favorite projects out there, and I've been stacking and compounding Juno over the past couple of months like crazy, the price performance has been really bad. That's why in today's video, I want to share some thoughts on that. What do I think moving forward is going to happen? We'll also look into some of the potentials for Juno. Now, if we go straight into the chart, we can see that the Juno price is currently below $3.50, down another 19.3% today, 14% against Bitcoin. So even though Bitcoin and also Ethereum are relatively stable in this market environment and just moving within that 10% range for Bitcoin between 28K and 31.5K, Juno has just been going to one direction, and that is down. The market cap of Juno dropped below $200 million and currently at $180 million. And that is based on the coins in circulation, which are 52.169 million coins. The fully diluted valuation is 640 million, which is based on the total, on the max supply of 185 million coins. So this is also the difference between the two. We'll get into a second into inflation and staking rewards. Now, if we look out here on the chart, first we look at a linear chart. We have Juno at an all-time high of $45 reached at March 3rd of 2021. That was 3 months ago. And now we're basically at an all-time low of $3.50. We're even below that, which is reached today. So today is basically prices that have never ever been seen on Juno since it got listed here on CoinGecko at least. Now let's first look into the token economics of Juno. Juno is often also labeled as this community-driven smart contract platform, and that's also one of the main reasons why I love it. There's no seed round, seed sale that happened, no private sale, not even a public sale of the Juno coin. Most of it initially was stake dropped to atom stakers. There was also a whale cap. Well, there was some drama around this, but in general, there was a whale cap. And initially 46,000 unique atom stakers were, airdropped those Juno coins initially. Exchanges were excluded and also exchange delegators. So that's also a big reminder always to stake your Atom, your Juno, your Osmo, your Stargaze to non-centralized exchange validators. But anyways, the numbers, this means 30.6 million Juno were stake dropped. The team received 1.7 million Juno, of which, this is vested over a period of 12 years, which means it's non-circulating. Smart contract challenges, such as also hacker houses, hackathons, and all these kind of things, 2.3 million Juno. Core development, 10 million Juno. And then the community pool received 20 million Juno, right? And currently there are 15 point something million, but we can also look into the exact number in a second. So overall, pretty fair distribution of the tokens here. A lot of it goes to the development. A lot of it also went to the community. So the Juno community, even at current levels, is sitting on around $45 million, which is pretty cool. But also more about that in a second. Now let's look into some of the stuff that is being built on Juno. It says here on the website, 50 plus apps, contracts, tools, and 2,000 DAOs are built on Juno. So the Juno ecosystem looks pretty cool. I mean, we have Juno Swap, which is the premier AMM on Juno. You can swap, transfer via IBC here, and also provide liquidity. There's currently also yields to be earned. For example, here on the Atom Juno pool, 77%. 217 on the Juno Raw pool. Raw token, which is the incentive token for these pools, also just came out recently and has not been really gained traction yet, because also the market environment is just really harsh right now. But you have 33 pools here, and you can just play around. If you hold any of these tokens and you want to maximize your yield, Juno Swap is probably the place to be. And also the experience here is pretty smooth if you want to swap tokens back and forth, and also if you want to make deposits or withdrawals from IBC. You can also do that right here on Juno Swap. Now, probably one of the most exciting applications right now on Juno is DAO. It is a tool that allows you to customize or to build your own customized DAO. And if you go here on the website, you can already see that there's a bunch of DAOs that have already been created, that have TVL locked up here, the Core 1 team. has a DAO, Intervasm DAO, Ra Foundation, Dev DAO. It really changes the game on how we treat DAOs, how we create DAOs, how we join DAOs, and it also really changes how we treat multisigs, right? Multisig wallets, which is pretty cool and a big application that I think so far not many people have been part of a multisig, but more and more people in the future might be, as there will be more projects, more DAOs that requires a team or effort to also manage funds, right? Whether that's a treasury, whether that's for a project, whether that's for a decentralized VC, there's many use cases for multisigs and also just for DAOs in general. There's also been a very cool signaling proposal recently, which might reshape the future of Juno, at least, and how we are being involved as a community and how we can become part of it. You have the Juno community DAO on top, but then you have sub DAOs underneath it, right? That are specific for certain tasks and for certain functionality. And in this signaling proposal is a rough guideline or with general principles for these sub DAOs, how they could be implemented, and also that the Juno community DAO eventually is superior to sub DAOs. So very cool idea to better organize and structure chain governance, because Juno, after all, is a community-driven project, which does not only mean there's no VCs, but it also means there's no central entity behind it, right? And that's what makes it so interesting and so exciting. And also, which is what I'm part of, Cosmoverse, Juno looks like will be one of the bigger sponsors at the Cosmos conference this year in Medellin. They will also have their dedicated Hackers Lounge, which is also what represents this community spirit, because we as a community are proposing that to the community, and the community agrees. And we got great feedback already from Core 1 team members, but also from the community itself. So this is going to be really exciting. If you look at other smart contract platforms, they mostly have the foundations or large companies that did the fundraiser, that did the public sale, private sale, seed rounds. These guys running conferences. And then it's pretty much ABC or core community circle jerk after all. And in Cosmos, that's what I love so much about this entire ecosystem, but especially about Juno, you have very high engagement and involvement from the community, and I think Cosmos also represents that. Besides that, you also have a bunch of applications that are ranging from NFT stuff to DeFi stuff to meme tokens. Passar 3D is building their marketplace, NFT marketplace on Juno as well. You have Neta, which is kind of like this Bitcoin of Juno, has a very low and scarce supply, and like I said, Passage. So there's more and more stuff coming. Loop Finance just announced they were migrating over to Juno as well. Retrograde from Terra is also considering it, and the Terra Dev Fund is also helping to incentivize ex-Terra developers to build on top of Juno, right? And I think we see more and more of these applications spilling over onto Juno as well, besides what's coming natively through the DAO development, and also natively through just apps built on top of Juno by independent developers. Speaking of developers, let's look actually into the list of contributors. And you can see there's basically two core teams. The first one is Core 1, which is the core team. You have Demi from Stakefish here, Wolf Contract from SG1, Block Raiders, and they're also linked here, all their Twitter profiles. Jake Hardnell, who is the Stargaze co-founder, and Jack Sempelon, who is an absolute legend. And yeah, I also had Andrea and Jack already on my channel. Jake I will have very soon. Wolf Contract, we'll figure it out. Maybe in the future we'll do a show together, but he doesn't really like to be on, on the spotlight, which is totally fine. He's very much focused on building. I met him in person already in Prague a couple of weeks ago, and he's just a very nice guy. Core 2 is composed of Jacob Gadikian, who is also very well known in the scene, especially in the validator scene. You have Disperse, Needlecast, King Nodes, Easy Staking, Imperator, the other co-founder of SG1, and another guy from Imperator that are core Cosmos and have been around for a while now, especially in the validator game. And then you just have independent contributors like Sisla from Omniflix, Simon from Confio, absolute legend, the guy who also, the company that also developed Cosmwasm, which is the implementation of smart contracts that Juno implements. Dennis Fadeh from Tenement, Zaki Manian, doesn't need an introduction. And there's many more. Also the relayers, obviously, that are making IBC possible on Juno. So all in all, Juno is a very community-driven smart contract platform, extremely fair tokenomics, a lot of development in terms of dApps, in terms of NFTs, DeFi and activities just from the community, and also independent developers that are building on Juno. So the bottom line for me here is to say that Juno isn't going anywhere, right? Even if the price is going one direction, Juno is still developing like crazy behind the scenes, and the community is incredibly active. Now let's look into some of the on-chain stats here provided by Bro Validator here. Give them a follow and also check out their site. It's pretty cool for a lot of the Cosmos IBC tokens. This is all updated in real time, basically with on-chain data. And you can see that the current APR for staking Juno is 93% with an inflation of 40%. But then inflation would cut in half in October for the first time. So inflation goes to 20%. Staking APRs will also go down. But the point is that the issuance of new Juno, which potentially are being sold on the open market right now, and anytime this could be considered as sell pressure, cuts in half for 12 years. And then after 12 years, the Juno supply reaches its max of 185 million tokens roughly, right? Currently 15.6 million coins roughly in the community pool, and 37.3% are staked, which is pretty good and healthy. This number has been going up, even though the unbonding period is 28 days, which in theory a lot of people would consider that this keeps people away from staking. However, we see this total bonded ratio going up every day, basically. But it would be interesting to see if that would be maybe cut in half, which is what Osmosis has. They only have 14 days unbonding. Whether this ratio would go up even faster, which means more security added to the network. And also it would mean that less potential volatility in the price, because more is staked, at least for 2 weeks. So this could be an interesting thought, maybe reduce it to 21 days and not straight away to 14 days, and to see what are the effects from that. Now, what is the potential of Juno, in my opinion? Where does it go? What is my strategy? Well, my strategy, I have not sold any Juno, and I'm not planning to do so, especially not at these prices. This is absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. I'm actually trying to increase my exposure, to buy some more Juno, slowly scale in, buy some more, especially at these levels, put them into staking. The staking APR is very, very appealing. Also with the halving coming up in October, and then also there is a bunch of airdrops that are still around the corner. Now, if we were to take that and scroll through which platform could we compare that to, a smart contract platform on Juno that is fast thanks to Tendermint, interoperable thanks to IBC, and very composable and easy to use and to build on thanks to Cosmwasm. If we were to take that and we would compare it to let's take, for example, even EOS. I mean, EOS was so hyped in 2017, 2018, and it still has a 7x higher market cap than Juno, which is absolutely crazy to think about, right? So even EOS at this level, $1.24, would be would price Juno at $23.7 if it had the same market cap that EOS had right now, which is $1.2 billion US, right? And we all know Juno has already been there. So Juno is able to do that. Let's look into some other platform. Maybe let's look into Polygon. If Juno would reach the market cap of Polygon today, one Juno would be priced at $77 US. Polygon is an EVM chain that is initially also built on a version of Tendermint, has roots in Cosmos. However, they never implemented IBC for some reason. But it has a market cap of 4 billion, and Juno is only at 180 million. So $77 Juno. Now, if we take some bigger candidate here, I mean, I don't want to take Tron, but let's take, for example, Solana, which had a couple of outages, again recently, but throughout the past couple of months. The chain has been down so much that it's almost ridiculous why people are still using that. And if Juno would have the market cap of Solana, it would be priced at $246, which, to be fair, it might already be there if Juno had billions in VC money and big investors and big people backing the coin and pumping it up, which Juno doesn't. It's more of a community project, and I think the adoption eventually will come because the community in Cosmos is extremely underrated and extremely strong. I hope you don't just look at the price and take hasty decisions based on the price performance. Of course, I personally wish that Juno would be trading at $100 already today, but that's not the case. One of the biggest things in crypto is always to remain patient and to also have the ability to go through the worst times, right? It's almost like marrying. You are committed to go through the best times and to go through the worst times. But currently we are in extremely bad times, and historically, after such bad times, good times are sometimes closer than you think. I'll leave you guys with that. I hope you stay safe, be good, and I'll see you guys in the next one.